there is for back, huh?
Well, good
That
morning,
must be the
everybody.
$300.
Welcome to
Those are
TeamODZ
the
Live,
350 options.
and welcome also to Rick Complains about the price of SRAM parts.
It's like they don't even want me to buy them.
Oh, they want you to. They just want you to play. Play. Hey, yeah, silly prices. So here. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, that was an
Let's
awkward
go.
stretch.
You just set off and you just completed your weekly time goal.
Yeah, this happens every Monday.
Have you got it set to like 1 second?
Nah, it's 12 hours. I don't know why it waits until Monday, but it always does it first thing. And I don't believe I got, well, maybe last week I got 12 hours on Swift. I did ride on Swift a bit. All right. I'll take a look at this one. $350. There's my 52 tooth for $350.
That's a dinner plate.
I think that's about what I'm going to be looking at for Mount Washington.
Any bigger and you'd be able to pedal backwards and go forwards.
A lot of the setups that people were doing, they were just having a one by on the front with the climbing, with the small ring. It's pretty much, from what they're talking, it's all about, shedding any extra parts because the weight really does make a difference.
I mean, like cut an arm off. You don't need an arm, you just need legs.
If it is an extra arm, yeah. Well, that's the thing too. A lot of them are taking the back brakes off. So, I mean, really, then you don't need the right arm. Well, except for shifting. Ah, man. So happy to have SRAM anytime, but when looking at new parts.
Yeah, see, I knew about that bit.
Yeah, me too. I did look into them initially. Just to get inspiration on taking care of my drivetrain better than I ever have. It's gonna be a journey.
Like Miss Riders.
Oh yeah, some combo. Yeah, so I was looking at it. This one was one of the videos I watched last night was Phil Gaiman working on. He was racing it, and then he brought along one of the GCN guys, the American guy, and he just kind of rode it at his own pace, talking to people and stuff. And that looked like the way to go, because he was getting some nice high quality 4K video of the views as you're doing the climb, and it was absolutely spectacular. looking at those views, I was like, wow. I think that would be my route, just to get a feel of it the first time, and then maybe if I wanted to get racy on the next one, or who knows.
Hey, Laria Raven. In the street chat, good morning. Yes, we're going to do some uppy bits today. I don't know how, but Rick checked yesterday, and on the route badge challenge, do 5 routes in September. He's already done 2, but he's only ridden 1 of the new routes. And
yeah,
in fact, you didn't get a route badge for any yet, did you? So that's why we're wondering where you've got the 2 route badges from. And I've got 3, and I've only ridden 1 of the new routes and Libby Hill After Party. So I don't know. I'm not complaining, but
I am. Why can't I have fruit? Because I didn't do 3. I was
Something like
expecting
that.
you to say that.
Yeah. I don't know if my legs want to do this today, but hey, we'll try.
Got some good rest in this weekend. I wouldn't say I'm feeling like, oh, there's Dan. Dan's ahead.
I was wondering who was up ahead.
Isn't it Dan the IT man? Is that where you know Dan from?
He's part of my team.
Yes. Is he an IT man then?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect name. All Dans get a Dan name.
So, what you need to do is search for Alan Partridge Dan on YouTube.
What does that one consist of? That's the T-shirt man one?
No.
Okay.
No, it's Alan Partridge shouting, Dan! 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 And Dan completely ignoring him. Kind of a bit like what happened then.
Yeah, where'd Dan go?
Oh, there he is. He went right.
Wow. I'm experiencing a new low in my house today. 70 degrees. Hasn't been 70 in here since April, maybe. Maybe May. Why the shirt's up.
Oh, viewers, thank you. We'll have no nips on this show.
Well, for this one it's fine because it covers. The ODZ bib, for some reason those ones just want to tuck in the side.
this was my route for Everesting.
Oh, you did this part too?
I came all the way down to the where the plains are. Some plains.
Oh, okay.
I rode this 14.5 times, including the radio tower.
A silly route for a couple silly guys.
Yeah. But it's a route badge, Maria, so we have to do it.
I like the climbing. For some reason, every time I climb, I think of my yearly elevation totals. Usually I think of mileage. Just still up in there in the brain. But this year I've been thinking about my climbing total at the end of the year too. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a silly route.
Yeah, kind of challenging to do that kind of climbing where I am in Wisconsin anyway. The glaciers so fit to that. Back in the Ice Age, we flattened it. So, I've got a few hills, but
Yeah.
if I want to do any serious
So
climbing, I've got to travel.
I had a former coworker of mine that moved to Madison, Wisconsin. She came back to visit last week and brought her boyfriend, he's from Wisconsin. He's lived there his whole life. And so we were talking about cycling. He was talking about that I should head out to do the ride where I guess they crossed the whole state. He was like, that was a fun one, challenging. And I was like, what does that end up being like? 500 feet of climbing by the end of it? And he was like, well, no, it's probably a little more than that, but I mean, there's some hilly spots. Which then I was wondering if we're basing this off of the same thinking. Because I live in what would be considered a flatter spot of Maine. And at any time I could head out and get 4,000 feet of climbing locally.
Yeah, the nearest hill to me is a 20-mile ride. And it's 250 feet of climbing, 1 ascent. So a few years ago, I decided to go and do hill repeats on it. I was going to ride it 10 times. So I drive over there, get the bike out, start my first climb. I'm on my 10th ascent and I hammer it up the hill. And I look at my watch, I'm thinking, I've got enough time, I could do another 5. So I ride it another 5 times. And 15th climb, again I hammer it up. I look at my watch and I'm thinking, I could do another 5. So I do another 5. And on that final descent, there's a couple of guys on mountain bikes who've just started the climb. I'm thinking, oh, it'd be rude not to. So I go down to the marina, in this. It's in a state park. Go down to the marina, turn around, start the climb, and there's a turn at a left-hand corner, about 2/3 of the way up the climb. It kind of looks like what we're going up right now. And I couldn't even see these two mountain bikers, but I hammered it up there, and I passed them before they got to the top. Mission accomplished.
That's the thing I hope for this Mount Washington climb is that, I don't know, I know that right now I'm saying I want to enjoy the climb and the views on the first one, but I won't. There'll be so many people up ahead of me at all times because of the way that they release everybody that I'll just constantly be, okay, I'm just gonna pass this first, and then I'm gonna calm down. Okay, one more. And then before I know it, I'll be at the top, I imagine. How any big events with a climb go for me. But I've also never done an event where it's just a sustained, 8-mile climb like that. Wow, I need to make some adjustments to the balance of this thing.
14 minutes and you've got fucking stuff.
I don't know how this thing, I don't know, it must be me. Because I don't think this thing is changing that much in between rides.
Like I said, it's your cats.
My hip was bothering me all day yesterday from yesterday's ride on this. But yeah, around here, there's this town across the river from where I live that, I mean, it's about, I can get there in about like 5 miles or so and go to that place is all just hills and has one thing that's called a mountain, Kings Mountain. But you can still like go there, and if you focus your ride there, you could probably get 1,000 feet of climbing for every 10 miles if you planned it out properly. But then if you go further to the next town over, then there's a bigger mountain that is the one I usually use for climbing. But it's still only, like a 1,500 foot or something. I don't even think it's that high, actually. Just by the time you're done climbing it, your gain has gone up quite a bit. Lots of up, 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 and then down, and then up, 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 and then down, and around, and then back up.
Malaria, a few years ago, I decided I was going to Everest in real life, and I drove, I think it's about 50 miles to Warsaw, and in Wisconsin, and that's got Rib Mountain. Now, it's not a mountain, It's just a big hill, but by Wisconsin standards, it's a mountain.
That's what I kind of call Kings Mountain.
No, I started on my ascent. Started at like 2 a.m. and I knew the state park didn't open until 6 a.m. But I figured if I don't see any signs that say that the park's closed until 6 a.m, then I can plead ignorance. Well, anyway, I start my ascent. I don't see a sign. So I do another one before the sun comes up, and it was only when the sun came up that I saw the signs.
It opened up your eyes.
Of all of the signs that were on that climb, the only two that weren't reflective, so weren't picked up by my bike headlight, were the ones that were saying that the park isn't open until 6 a.m. No, Warsaw as in WAS AU. Got to do things different in Wisconsin.
Everything is like a Native American French type of thing going on. They almost seem, but I think it's all just native tribe language stuff, isn't it? That's how it is around here. Everything is a lot of like repeated sounds.
Ace of base. Now there's one a blast from the past. All that she wants is another baby.
Andy saw the sign.
Yeah. Wow, I'm impressed, Rick.
Yeah.
Do I like the new HUD on Zwift, Rob? Yes, I do. I like being able to see my average power. That's about it. We've been asking for it for a while, but
I'm a pretty flexible guy, so I was fine with the other HUD, but yeah, I like this one.
Ooh. Even steering isn't catching me up to Rick now. It was at the bottom.
Yeah, oh, there we go. Now I'm geared out. Oh, that brought me down.
Yeah, I don't have a problem holding a flat power, Larry, because riding on rollers, I just have to keep a fixed cadence up, and that translates into a fixed power. So I was reading something that Apple TV users haven't got the new HUD yet because the 1.73 update was withdrawn. And they'll get the HUD update in the next update.
That happened to Windows too, wasn't it? That's why I was a couple days behind.
I don't think so.
Or a day maybe.
No. It's a staged rollout for everybody. So some people get it one day. I was one of the last to get it, as per usual. I'm not bitter or twisted at all. Yeah. It's like when you're out on the road and there's another cyclist ahead of you, Larry. So that was one of the reasons that I had to have bought my in real life Everesting, because I was on climb 18, and there was another cyclist ahead of me, and I'd done really well pacing myself to that point.
Right.
But I had to get to the top before that other guy.
Why?
I got to the top before him, but I pushed myself way harder than I should have done on that climb. So then I had to course down to the bottom, sit in my truck while I recovered. I know, right? That was my day. My day on the hill.
Well, it's slight change in the plan.
Uh-oh.
Might have to give Grace a ride.
Oh.
I didn't think I had to mention anything last night, but I guess I did.
How long we got?
I don't know. All depends on how quickly she's ready. I'm also gonna check in with Heidi here. Yeah. That one just caught me.
When I Everested on this, I was riding a friend's Cyclops hammer, and that was at 100%. And yeah, so I understand. My Everest attempt on this climb was only a few weeks before we got the Alp. That's how long ago it was. Otherwise I'd have done it on the Alp.
Wow. Yeah, this one ends up being like over 1,000 feet for every 10 miles, doesn't it? 2,000 feet for every 10 miles. Pretty much.
That's a lot of climbing. The ride on down.
Would be interesting to see a ZRL stage on this.
Yeah, let's not and say we did.
That would be a lot.
Remember when we raced Mercury 40? I know, Ilaria, right? Oh, yeah, I remember when we raced Mercury 40. 5 minutes before we finished the race, I was supposed to be on a conference call. The live, I'm sure the live stream for it is still out there somewhere, but you watch it. I'm frantically typing away on my phone. A few minutes before the finish, saying, "Just finishing my race. I'll be there in a few minutes." Wow. There's a small number of people that have actually ridden this ascent in the last hour.
Good chance to become a blue cow.
No. We're not going to
I think
be
it's
anywhere
over
near
now,
the
anyway.
top time. 20 minutes.
Yeah, I've already passed the top time.
Yeah. We'll be top 10. Ooh.
Wow, it's working out well. Still in low zone too.
I've got flecks of green in there.
Oh, there's a little bit of green for sure.
A reasonable amount of green.
This is the good part about this gradual stuff is it's just easy. This is the flattest my graph ever is. Pretty much the only time my graph is flat. Makes me feel better about Mount Washington. Saddle in and pedal away. Except I'll be in threshold, most likely. So you can tell if I've been watching videos on Mount Washington hill climb, because then I talk about it the next day. This is going to be a year of climbing until that starts. And I think I'll be changing my plans on gaining back some weight. don't know if I could though. I've dropped down another pound for my 7-day average.
Nice. I'll give you some of mine. Can you lose that as well?
At this point, it seems like I could. I don't know what's going on, but I in no way was like trying to stick to a diet this weekend. I was pretty much by myself. Actually ate quite terribly. I didn't have any fast food though. I didn't eat that terribly.
Just slow food.
But I did have some convenience. Did have some convenience food. I did have
go 6th
there
and
were
7th
a couple frozen pizzas.
7th and 8th. 7th and 8th.
Hey, that was a new PR. I haven't done this one in a while, I guess.
Me either. I think you need to adjust your saddle as well to compensate for the adjustments you just made.
That sounds.
Hilaria,
Complete and utter nonsense.
there was a time when Rick was adjusting his saddle. Sometimes, not just daily, but more than once a day.
There were some where I was just, I'd hop off the saddle mid-ride and make a quick adjustment.
So we started making fun of him for it. It would be, I've got a cold, adjust your saddle. I've got a headache, adjust your saddle. Hi Rob. Thanks for dropping in.
I think I, for the most part, gotten the saddle thing figured out where I like it, but the trainer balance is just, it's like my house is shifting or something. I don't know what's going on, but
Oh, see, I've told you. Rollers
I've
will
locked it.
fix all of that. You ride on rollers and you are the balance.
yeah, that's the thing. I don't have these issues on my bike outside. So I have a hip thing that every so often on the trainer, I'll feel it after a little bit. Then my hip flexor gets tight, and then I can feel it popping, and then that leads to pain after the ride. And I've had that get real bad before. So, but I've noticed that it has to do with the trainer balance. Just a little bit of a change all of a sudden fixes it. But it's finding that key spot and keeping it there. It's also a big thing is trying to not get lazy on the trainer. It's amazing when you're not holding yourself up, how you can easily take on a lazy position if you're riding and talking, doing a social ride.
Ride On from Don Sarah. Now there's a name I haven't seen in a while. Come back, Don.
He's in Korea. He's doing one of his Korean expeditions. Yeah, I think sometimes I tend to I try to keep forward and use my core more. And I do when I'm racing or doing some sort of a purposeful effort. But when I start social riding, all of a sudden I'll kind of roll back, start doing that. I don't know, kind of like upright while my hands are on the bars kind of thing. And I'm sure my back just looks horrible right now when I'm doing that. And that kind of brings it along as well.
I have been known to Zwift from the gym in work, and they've got spin bikes that measure power and broadcast it over ANT. No, nice easy solution for riding Zwift. Just take my old Microsoft Surface with me, plug my ANT dongle in and ride. But they're the same thing, Larry. I tend to sit up a lot on those and not keep my hands off the bars. I'm doing other things.
Yeah, I try to keep a good core routine going. Usually time ends up being the issue. Yeah, same. I'll get a little bit on, I'll get that when I'm riding outdoors, but it's like that different kind of pain where it's more in the top of the glute. I think that's what it might be. I don't know. But I mean, with that, I've noticed that also comes on with like lots of climbing and while sitting and then getting like maxed out. If I keep my work steady, if I keep my pedaling and power steady, then on the climbs, then I do good. When I start like getting tired, but I'm still trying to push through the top of it, if it's a really steep climb, and then yeah, my form goes all out of whack. And then about 20 miles down the road, I'll be feeling that pretty bad. But that's a different kind of one than this hip flexor type thing that I keep getting. Today it seems okay though. I'm just aware of it. Oh, there we go. Here's the descent. Here's the pay-to-play feature of Zwift taking full effect.
Don't worry, I'll whip you at the bottom. I'm sure he'll catch me up once we get to the bottom of O'Hill. He'll know.
Hey. Yeah, that's kind of what I need, is like a video for 6 minutes like that. Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Usually what I'll do, I have a routine that I'll add into like other stuff. Like I'll do like some dumbbell work too for keeping my shoulders strong and stuff. Because look at them, aren't they strong? That's a joke because I'm actually quite weak up top right now. But the I'll do a plank for 3 minutes, and every 30 seconds, switching on and off, I'll go from touching my knees to my elbows or pretty close to it for 30 seconds, then 30 seconds or just regular plank, and then back to it. And I've noticed that cuts it up pretty good, because a 3-minute plank by itself would be absolute torture. But for some reason adding that in, it's only the last minute that's real torture.
Well, the one that we're riding down now, Rob, or the one that we just rode up?
I think you would.
Yeah.
Or even if you didn't, if at first you don't succeed.
You just got to remember, there is no spoon.
The part that gets me is climbing up a hill and then all of a sudden having someone kind of pass me in a way that feels like they're trying to race, and then trying to keep with them and then pass them at the end. Oh, it gets me every time.
Oh, Here we go, Rob. We get to ride up
Okay.
it now.
It's already time for that?
Yeah.
Okay. I also have a motto that if at first you don't succeed, have Andy do it. Yeah. That's Mount Washington I'm planning on signing up for that for next year. And that one is a 12% average for just shy of 8 miles. And yeah, that's going to be crazy. Because now,
Right.
when I signed up for it, I was looking into it and I'm like, oh yeah, 12%. All you got to do is just get into a rhythm, keep going. But then every time I'm out riding and I hit a 12%, all of a sudden when it kicks up to 12%, I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing this for an hour. But I'm sure once that's all there is, I would imagine that the first mile or so is going to be an adjustment period.
You're in the Fredler area. That's one I want to do.
Yeah, I would imagine you got to put out some wattage. I was watching a video on that last night of a guy who he did a climb in California. He won the race in 2018 when he was 150 pounds. And then now he said he was like 85 kilos or something. I just converted over to kilos now. So I realized, oh yeah, I'm the only one talking pounds here. But said he was like 85 kilos now. And so he wanted to see what the difference was. And he was still in good shape, but he had just gained a lot of muscle. And the difference in time and wattage output was quite impressive. It showed just how much weight does make a difference on a climb. I mean, that was a pretty good increase over what his initial weight was of doing that race. Oh, I have one more gear back. 2 more gears. Okay. There we go. Now more reasonable.
Yeah. That's when I was Everesting on
Oh, yeah.
Rib Mountain. That was a concern of mine. One of the problems that we have here is wildlife making their way onto the road. And I was doing above 40 miles an hour in places on the descent. But I was keeping my eye on the undergrowth at the side of the road, just in case a deer decided to jump out or something.
Yeah, I hear you. That's the same thing with me. I'm just constantly like on a descent. I'm thinking about what if.
Well, I had a few challenges.
They're right on the
I didn't know the road. It was dark.
Yeah, I would say I'm a lot the same. That's why Mount Washington works perfectly, because in Mount Washington they don't allow you to descend.
So
it's too dangerous.
I've mentioned High Cliff State Park. That's the hill that's about 20 miles from me that I rode 20 times one day. Well, before my youngest daughter could ride a bike on her own, I had a pull along thing hooked to my my seat post. So she had her own pedals and just one wheel hooked to my seat post. And one day after church, my wife decides we're going to go for a bike ride. There were a load of bikes and that in the back of the van, and we set off to High Cliff. My wife and eldest daughter started climbing the hill. Me and Hope, when I got the bike on, clipped on, we set off. We passed my wife and my older daughter, and I'm pulling my younger daughter up this hill and shout back, "Are you helping, Hope?" And she says, "Yes, Daddy, I'm helping." Pedaling away. Well, we get to the top and we're waiting. I'm waiting. Hope says, "Where's Mummy?" I said, "I don't know, Hope. We stay here, they'll come up." And I was just getting ready to ride back down to see where they were when I hear voices. They got off and walked up. Anyway, we ride on up to the top of the hill from that point where there's an observation tower, and run the kid up the top of that tower with the kids. It's a bit of fun. And then it's time to descend again. And yeah, so I'm pulling Hope down this hill like 35, 40 miles an hour. And she's laughing and giggling and shrieking. Fun memories.
Oh, we get to do the radio tower on this one, don't we?
We do. Well, we got to go all the way down, first of all, and then ride up again.
Oh, okay. Then back up. Then
Yeah.
the radio tower. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We're not halfway yet.
I think I am going to have to give a ride because I'm not hearing any movement. I've sent out a request for help. It has been unanswered.
Yeah, I think we ride down the side that we just rode up, and then ride back up the other side and do the radio tower. Absolutely, walking still counts. Still got to the top.
Yeah, the other day, last week, I was doing Bald Mountain, which has decided to do the reverse of it for the first time, which is more of a gradual climb to the top. And then instead of going up, there's one 20% section on it that instead of going up it, you get to go down it this time, which I was like, okay, cool. And the moment that thing dipped down, I felt like I had a push. It was crazy. All of a sudden I'm just like, whoa. I was like up over 40 miles per hour so quickly. And there's a corner in the middle of it. And I'm thinking, don't put on your brakes. Don't put on your brakes. Let's see how fast you can go. But then the corner's coming and I'm like, what if something's around the corner? So I did. I touched the brakes. And can't remember what my top speed was, but it was definitely like 48 or so. But if I hadn't touched the brakes, I don't even know how fast I probably would have hit my top speed, which must be in the 50s. I don't think I've ever been in the 50s much. Maybe once I think I might have hit it in the Grand Fondo at one point, but at that point you don't really notice it as much as when you're alone. I don't know why. For me, I kind of just have this feeling like, well, here I am in a pack. If it goes down, it goes down. Nothing I can do about it. But when I'm by myself, I actually think about it. Big.
So how long will it take you for the school run?
About a half an hour. I was hoping for at least the bus stop run, but I think that time is definitely passed.
You want me to wait when you
don't know why I need.
when you make the school run?
I mean, if you have time, I would like to finish it, but I can also finish it by myself. You know, to save you from having to break into song and dance for the live stream.
Yeah, just getting out and riding there. Area that'll make you stronger as well.
Yes. This summer, it's been amazing how much I've gained just from, I started out in the spring training for Grand Fondo, and I noticed I didn't get as much benefit from it as, I mean, I guess it was a good Kickstarter, but I didn't get as much benefit as just going out and riding and kind of pushing past my fatigue a little bit.
Good routes for little hills. I know the French ones that take you up the KOM there. There's the aqueduct and then there's a KOM.
Yeah.
So, or Douce France. I think that's one of them.
Sometimes it all depends, because sometimes short hills will make me push harder because I know I'm almost at the top the whole way. Whereas I'll pace myself a little better on a longer hill. But then I also, if I'm riding by myself on a longer hill, it's a rare day that I don't push myself to threshold to actually be like, no, don't do it. So usually I'll just hit flat routes on those days. Okay. No word from Mom at all. I sent her a message. Looks like it's not happening. I'll have to play this live stream for her later. Be like, what time are we at right now? To cut straight to this time. Show her my overwhelming disappointment.
Hope to see what my meeting schedule's like for today.
Still have yet to do the grade as a power test.
Well, I've got about 2.5 hours before my first meeting of the day. And then I've got 3 meetings at the same time.
Oh wow.
I guess
How
I
does
get
that
to
go
choose
down?
which one I'm going to go to.
Oh, okay. You don't have to show up to all 3 at the same time.
Well,
Do a game of muting.
so I've learned how to be in 2 places at once, but 3's just a bit too much.
Yeah. Hey, that's like my fantasy football teams. Found 2 is doable, but when I get 3, it's a bit overwhelming. What is it with 3? Yes. All right, I gotta go.
All right. I'm gonna carry on to the top here, and I'll wait for you at the top. Give me a message when you're back in the house, and I'll come back down.
Oh, I'm so close to the top.
Fins up, yeah. Oh, Rick's got to take his daughter to school, so I'm right at the top here. I'm going to call it for the stream for today, and then we'll finish the route off. There's Rick. Hello, Rick. Hey, Rob, it's not too bad. Just got to keep pedaling. One more section. Definitely have to stop pedaling before I get to the top, because I've turned braking off with my Zwift play controllers because it kept popping on randomly. I can't brake. I guess I'm good at A on my keyboard though. So yeah, Rick and I were chatting yesterday, and he said, "Do you want to ride a route badge today?" And we were going to ride one of the shorter ones. I got my N8 done the other day. There's another one that's about 20k. And we're going to do that one, but we changed our minds as we were getting ready. Almost there. I want my average power to say 190. Come on. There's the top. See it. There we go. Average power is 190 now. Yeah, I like a happy medium, Larry. You know, I like a bit of something in there, but I don't like things like Ventop. I rode that for the badge, and that's it. That's just too long. Drop, right, pull over. Ooh. Right, well, I'm going to take a bit of a break while Rick goes and takes his daughter to school. I'll be back with him tomorrow, I think. Oh yeah, we've got CRL tomorrow. If they send the registration link out. We haven't registered yet, so we'll see whether that happens. So, we'll be, it's a TTT tomorrow, isn't it? Some fun on that with the Cape Crusaders. About this time tomorrow, and then we've got a few other teams riding it later in the day. We'll stream them, give them a bit of DS as well. So until then, take care, Larry. Yeah, no sign up yet, eh? It was supposed to have been out yesterday, but hey, never mind. All right, well, best of luck for your race as well, Larry. Have a good one, and have a great Monday, everybody. Take care. And that was the longest ever. Where's my mouse pointer gone? There it is. Longest ever goodbye, I guess. See you soon. Bye for now.